guys, it's Sarissa with Immerse Photography, and today what we're going to be talking about is how to pose people. Because it's one thing to know how to work your gear, it's another thing to know how to work the people in front of your camera. Now, the first time I went out to do some photo sessions, I thought I knew what I was doing. I grew up with a grandfather and an uncle who were both photographers, and I met my husband working at a camera store. So I kind of had some background knowledge on photography, and I started and I got my clients and I'm like, I'm ready to go. And I get them in front of the camera and I totally panicked. I was like, what do I do with these people? Because if you've ever been in front of the camera and you have a photographer who doesn't know what they're doing, it can be incredibly awkward. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you just some simple tricks that I use with all of my clients to help them look their best in front of your camera. Because if you can make people look nice and skinny, they are going to love you. So one of the first things that I do with all my clients is I teach them how to be nice and tall through their necks, because the neck adds a lot to your images. So what I will have them do, and I recommend you do it along with me, I know you're probably feeling very silly about this, so if I were you and you're on your phone, just pause your phone and like go in the bathroom really fast. But take your fingers, put them in front of your neck right here, in front of your jawbone, and then you're going to pull yourself up really tall. Oh my gosh, you didn't know you had that extra inch, did you? See, this is why I said go do it in the bathroom so nobody can watch you. I'm serious, you need to try it. So pull yourself up really, really tall, and then the next thing that I do is I tell my clients to pretend that there's a limbo bar, and you want to go up and over. And I've got my 3 models standing behind the camera, and I just saw 2 of them do it with me, but you'll see them in a second. You want to go up and over that limbo bar so you get that length in your neck, and this gives you definition and shadowing on your jawline, which is exactly what you want. So do the jaw trick with your clients. The other thing that you want to do is you always want to have their face parallel to your lens. So if you're standing up on like a bench or something, you're going to want to have them look up so that their face is parallel to your lens. Same thing if you're shooting down from below, you want to make sure that they drop forward and look down at you. Now, here's the thing. If you are shooting below them and they do this, they're going to get that triple chin, and that's not pretty on anyone. So what you're going to have them do is also think about their upper body. I tell my clients to put their hands on their hips and to leave their hips where they are and slightly lean forward. That gives you the length that you want, and it helps them keep their face parallel to the camera. And the last little trick I give them, and this is a little yoga trick, you tell them to pretend that they have a walnut back here between their shoulder blades. And what that will do is it'll help them roll their shoulders back and pinch them. Now, a lot of times, especially with the guys, and I bet my guy model here is gonna do it, they tend to get really like stiff in their shoulders. And so what I will do is I will actually, once I get them in that position, I'll bang them on the shoulders just to help them relax a little bit. And once you've gone over all of those things, then you can finally start putting them into some fun positions. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull up Braden, who is gonna model some awesome guy positions. So Braden, come on over here. I've been picking on him on the other side of the camera here. So Braden, go ahead and stand right next to me. When you're posing a guy, you never want to give them feminine poses. You want to make sure that they look really tall and masculine. So I always start kind of building from the ground up. So Braden, go ahead and put your feet about shoulder width apart. Perfect. He's a lot taller than I am. We're about even now. So shoulder width apart, and then what I want you to do, Braden, is I want you to put your hands in your pockets. Awesome. And then what that's going to do is it's going to give him a lot of width here, and it's going to really open up his chest. Now, Braden, I want you to pretend that walnut's back here. Now, do you see how his shoulders immediately tensed up? Here's the trick that I do. Ready, Braden? And beach up. Relax. Yes! Do you guys see that subtle difference? Braden, tighten up again. Yes, and then relax again. See that little subtle difference? It'll make the world in your pictures. So make sure they have their shoulders nice and tightened back. So Braden, now I want you to lift up through your jaw. Drop it down like you're on a limb. Yes. And now this is what I always do. Ready? I'll get really close to the camera. Braden, come towards me with your chin a little bit like a turtle. Yes! And that's where I want him. Now you can see he's got this nice definition, and I always tell them you can relax. I always tell them you're going to feel a little bit like a turtle. I said that to you in your session, right? And usually when you say that, they laugh. So always have your camera ready, because that way you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You get a good pose and you get a good laugh. Braden, thank you, sir. All right, now I'm going to show you how to do some girl poses. So I'm going to bring out Emily, and she's going to be my model. So with girls, you always want to have a little bit more curve. With the guys, you want them to be nice and strong. I had Braden put his hands in his pockets. You could also cross them or do the thumbs in the belt loops. With girls, you want to have more of a curve. So same thing, I'm going to start from the bottom, work my way up. So Em, I want you to cross your ankles for me. And that immediately is going to give her kind of a triangular shape, which will make her look a little bit curvier. I want you to pop one hand up on your hip. I don't care which one. Yeah, there you go. And then I want you to let's take your right shoulder towards the camera a little bit, and I want you to lift it up kind of flirty, just, yes! And then I want you to turn your chin towards the camera. Excellent. Now, I'm gonna do it with you. Ready? We're gonna feel like a little teapot. Lean towards the camera. There you go. And that's where I would take my picture. Thank you, my darling. That wasn't too hard, was it? No. So, always think about how you are putting your models together and giving them really specific directions. If I were just to have said to Emily, hey, put your hand up by your face and turn and lean, she probably would have looked something like this. So be really, really specific. And I always model it for whoever I'm working with. I'll either stand next to them and show them exactly what I'm wanting, or if I'm giving them directions from the other side of the camera, so if I'm here telling my model what to do, you always need to remember that if you're facing them and you tell them to put their right hand up, it's going to look like their left hand to you. So always remember, you have to flip your right and your left as you're talking to them. Now, I want to show you one more thing, and this is how to pose a group, because it's one thing to pose one people, it's another thing to pose a bunch of people. So I'm going to pull all 3 of my models up here. And the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put Braden in the center. So we're gonna pretend that the 3 of these kiddos are siblings. They're not, we're just gonna pretend. So we're gonna put Braden in the middle. Awesome, good. Emily and Lindsay, let's make sure that you're all in here. Everybody squeeze together a little bit closer, perfect. Okay, now Emily, I want you to put your right hand up on Braden's shoulder. Perfect, and I want you to put your other hand like kind of by his elbow. And I want you to pop up one of your legs, bend one of your legs. There you go. And I want you to lean towards the camera a little bit. Good. Braden, shoulders back real tight. Nice. Looking straight at the camera, Braden. And Lindsay, I want you to link arms with Braden over here on this side. Excellent. And bend one of your legs so I get a nice, cute little pose. Excellent. And if you look at the 3 of them, I'm going to say, everybody stand up really, really tall. Oh, did you guys see them pop up? That was fantastic. All of you lean towards me. Right there. That's where I would take my camera. Awesome job, you guys. So that is just basic tips on how you pose people. Rules are, of course, meant to be broken. So this is a good starting point. Feel free to experiment and go from here. So you've got 2 more things I need you to do for me. Number 1, if you found this video helpful, over here there's a thumbs up button. Give me a thumbs up. And down over here, there is a subscribe button, and I would love if you would follow my photography YouTube channel. Second thing I want you to do, if you get an awesome picture, email it to me, post it on my Facebook wall, or just tell me about it. I love celebrating little victories with you guys. Have fun on your own photography journey, and we will talk later. See you later. Bye.